Hi friends! Happy to see you. Hey Andrea. So excited to be here again with everyone. I'm gonna get some easy, calm, stretchy yoga on. We'll wait till just a couple more people hop on and we'll go ahead and get started. All right. Perfect. We've got a few folks here. Perfect. So, hope everyone can see me, hear me. My computer's a little higher this time than it was last time because we are going to stand up today. So, we'll go ahead and get started laying on our backs. So, find a comfy spot for you. And before I start, actually, if you're watching, go ahead and share this video on your profile or invite some of your friends. We are going to save this video to Life with A, so you can always come back and check it out later. I also shared a little playlist on Spotify in the comments, so if you want to listen to some music while we flow, that's awesome. Cool, so we'll find a spot on our backs. That might just be laying in Shavasana, corpse pose, with the legs outstretched. Or maybe if you want to open up through the hips a little bit more, we can bring the soles of the feet together and let the knees drop off to the sides. Arms can either be down by our sides, or maybe the left hand on the heart and the right hand on the low belly. We'll start to tune into our breath. Let's maybe take 3 or 4 big, deep breaths in through the nose and with a big sigh out the mouth. Sometimes all it takes to feel better is just one of those big, deep breaths. Even giving it a little bit of voice every once in a while with a sigh just helps us let go of some extra energy, maybe some negative emotions that we've been hanging on to. From here, we're going to take our arms out to a nice wide T with the palms face up. We'll gently roll the head from side to side, pausing for a moment at each side, stretching out the neck. Maybe while we're down here, thinking of a particular intention that you'd like to set during this time. Maybe that's just finding some peace or moving your body. Maybe there's some people out in the world to whom you'd like to send love. It's the best thing that we can do right now is send out love. We'll return the head back to center and draw the knees into the chest, giving yourself a nice big hug, little rock side to side to massage out the low back. We'll keep the knees together and take them around in a big circle, doesn't matter which direction. Just really targeting that low back. Maybe you've been sitting more than normal or chasing your kids around more than normal. Either way, low back always feels good to just stretch out. We'll take the knees in the opposite direction circle. I'm going to work on our hips a lot today. So let's start to open up our hips by bringing one hand to each knee and peeling the knees apart in big opposite circles. We'll swap directions, bringing the knees back in toward each other, loosening up that space where the thigh bone connects into the hip socket. Keeping the hands on the knees and the knees really bent, we're just going to take the knees out wide. This will be a little modified happy baby. You can grab onto your ankles or your feet if you'd like, but let's keep those knees really bent. Feel free to rock side to side if that feels good to you. That brings a little more happy to our happy baby, in my opinion. If it feels good to you, you can always bring the feet now a little higher up toward the sky, finding less of a bend in the knee. And then we'll send our feet and hands up to the sky for some lymph drainage, gently pointing and flexing the hands and feet. Maybe taking some circles with the wrists and ankles. And maybe turning those circles around. We'll bring the knees back in toward the chest, taking a little rock side to side. Then we'll bring our feet back down onto the mat. Knees bent, feet are about hip distance apart. We're going to take our right ankle and bring it to the top of our left knee, creating a figure four with the legs. Either staying here if this is enough stretch for you, or threading the hands through the pocket to grab the back of the left thigh, drawing those legs in toward you. If you feel like you can go deeper, you can always use your right elbow to press the right knee a little farther away from you. As with this and any yoga class, making sure you always have water. Ooh. Making sure that we don't push ourselves too hard or go too stretchy if our bodies are not ready. We'll keep our legs in that figure four and gently set the left foot back down on the mat. From here, we'll rotate our hips over to the left side, planting that right foot beside us. I like to grab onto my right ankle with my left hand for a little stability. Feel free to take that option if you'd like. Right arm can come out into a T, or cactus arm by the face, or reach up over the head. Feel free to throw in one of those big sighs whenever feels right to you. It's the beauty of our at-home yoga is that there's no one around you to distract or bother. Take those big deep breaths and do your thing. We'll rotate the hips back up to center and untangle the legs. Then bringing the left ankle to the top of the right knee to create an opposite figure four. We'll either stay here if this is enough for you, or thread the hands through the pocket to grab the back of the right thigh this time. Again, if you feel the need to go deeper, your left elbow can press your left knee farther away. Making sure we're breathing deeply. During this time, it's so easy to find a shallow breath. Let's see if we can breathe all the way to the bottom of our belly. We'll keep the legs in that figure four, Setting down the right foot, then rotating the hips to the right side, planting the left foot beside you. Maybe grabbing onto the left ankle with the right hand. Left arm can come out to a T, cactus arm by the face, or reaching up over the head. On an inhale, we'll bring those knees back to center and untangle the feet, hugging the knees back into the chest. Let's go ahead and take another happy baby, reaching between the knees to catch either the outside edges of the feet or the ankles. Feel free to rock side to side, stay stationary, stretch out one leg at a time, whatever feels groovy to you. We'll release our feet, hug our knees back into our chest, either rolling off to a comfy side or rocking up and down a few times, massaging out the spine, and we'll make our way to hands and knees. Beautiful. Hi, friends. I'm going to stack the wrists right underneath the shoulders and the knees right underneath the hips. Maybe just take the hips side to side for a little bit. Find some movement in the body. A lot of us are aware of cat-cow, which is inhaling to round through the back or arch the spine, and exhale to round the back and tuck the tailbone. This is a really nice, effective stretch, but we can get deeper if we just allow ourselves to move however feels natural and organic to us. My hips are different than your hips, and my spine is different than your spine. So just take whatever feels good to you. Exotic cats and cows, as it were. Maybe tucking the toes and shifting back into a little mini child's pose. Beautiful. We're going to come back to a stationary hands and knees. And from here, extend out the right arm and the left leg, driving through the heel, finding length through the arm, the leg, and the spine. See if we can make it parallel. Looks weird because I'm on my laptop, which is high. Nice deep breath here. Then we'll tap down the hand and toe and inhale up, tapping down and up. Last time tap and up. We'll bring the hand down, then take the toes over to the right side, touching down outside the mat. We'll inhale to shine our heart forward and exhale to gaze over that right shoulder. Toes can stay tucked, or if you'd like pointing, maybe floating or tapping. We'll lift that leg back up and return to hands and knees, little rock side to side to reset. This time, let's extend out the left arm and the right leg, again, driving through the heel, finding length through the spine. Core stays tucked. Then we'll tap down hand and toe and inhale up. Tap down and up. Last time tap and up. We'll set the hand down, bringing the toes to the left side. Inhale to shine the heart forward and exhale to gaze over the left shoulder. Again, toes can be tucked, pointed, hovered, or tapping. Inhale to lift that leg back up and return to hands and knees, little rock side to side. From here, we'll take our knees out wide and sink our hips to our heels in child's pose. Taking a little stretch, resting the forehead on the mat and allowing the elbows to soften down. We'll take a big inhale to reach the fingers forward. Exhale to walk the hands off to the right side of the mat. Sinking deeply into that left hip, finding a nice deep side stretch. We'll inhale to walk the hands back to center, and exhale, walking to the left side, stretching the right arm a little further, and again, sinking back into the right hip, stretching out through that right side. On an inhale, walking the hands back to center. From here, we're going to lift up to our hands and knees. We won't be quite as tight in our hands and knees now since our hands are a little bit more forward on the mat. Let's bring our knees back underneath our hips. Tuck our toes and just hover the knees. From here, we can press the chest back toward the knees. This is called bear pose. Not quite a down dog. Our knees are still bent. As if someone's pulling you from the top of the upper back. I'm going to roll forward into a plank pose. Then gently press back into bear. Flowing like a wave as we go from plank to bear and back. No down dog in between. Just a little bit of movement in the spine. Doesn't matter what it looks like. Mine probably looks different every single time I do it. And there's no one there to tell you whether you're doing it right or wrong anyway. How beautiful, home yoga. The next one, we are going to press back into down dog. Stretching out the knees. Going to step the feet. Lifting up one heel at a time to help stretch out the backs of the legs. Let's come back down to the knees. Bring the hips to heels in child's pose. This time, let's tuck our arms by our sides to help release the shoulders. Maybe giving those hips a little rock side to side, stretching out. We'll stretch those arms back out, lift back up to hands and knees, and tuck our toes, downward facing dog. Let's inhale our right leg up to the sky, bend the knee, bringing the heel to the butt, and just open up through the hips. Maybe taking some little knee circles, or ankle circles, or pointing the toes up to the sky. And we'll return back to down dog. Inhaling the left leg to the sky, bringing the heel to butt, opening up through the hips. Maybe ankle circles, knee circles, or pointing the toes to the sky. And we'll come back to downward facing dog. Let's take a deep bend in the knees and walk the hands back toward the feet, grabbing onto our elbows and hanging in ragdoll. Letting the gravity of your head and your shoulders pull the top half of your body down. You can sway side to side, or maybe bounce forward and back, or just hang stationary. Making space between each vertebrae. Let's release the hands and crawl back forward into plank pose. Then press back into downward facing dog. We'll take our hips gently side to side. Again, just loosening up Some of us might be doing free yoga all day long, and some of us maybe haven't done yoga in a long time. Whoever you are, wherever you are in your practice, sometimes we just need to take a little bit more time. We'll come back to a stationary down dog, then step our feet a little bit wider, so wider than our hips. Once again, we'll take a deep bend in the knees and walk the hands back toward the feet. Again, grabbing onto the elbows to hang and ragdoll. This time, if it feels good, so we'll start by bouncing forward and back. And gently side to side if that feels good. We'll release the arms, planting the hands on the mat and lifting up to a flat back. Now bend into the left knee and inhale the right arm up to the sky. Making sure that we're drawing that left shoulder back. Feel free to stretch out the wrist if you'd like, or tuck that top arm behind the back if that feels good. If the top arm is tucked, we'll inhale it to the sky and back down to the mat. Bending into the right knee this time, we'll inhale the left arm to the sky. Again, make sure that we draw that right shoulder back. Maybe make some wrist circles with that top arm, or tuck it behind the back. If you're tucked, inhaling back up to the sky and down to the mat. From here, we'll take another bend in the knees, then roll up nice and slow, as slowly as you can, stacking one vertebra on top of the next. Head and neck roll up last. And we'll inhale our arms up to the sky and pull down into cactus pose, shining the heart up toward the sky. On an inhale, we'll reach back up. And exhale, we'll move over to the right side, stretching out the side body. Inhale, reach us back up. And exhale, we'll lean over to the left side. We'll inhale to reach back up. And exhale to fold forward. We'll inhale back up to a flat back. And then slowly walk the hands back out onto the mat. We'll come down to hands and knees and sink back into child's pose. Feel free to have the arms extended or tucked by your sides to help release the shoulders. Maybe take a little rock side to side. Get into those hips. If the arms are tucked, let's go ahead and extend them out on the mat. We'll inhale back up to hands and knees and tuck the toes for downward facing dog. We'll inhale the right leg to the sky. On our exhale, bringing the knee to the nose, crunching through the abs. Next inhale, we'll shoot that leg back up to the sky. Then plant the right foot to the outside edge of the right hand. You're going to rock forward and back a few times, just stretching out through the hips. When you're ready, we'll set that back knee down. You can stay up on your hands, or maybe come up onto fists. If you happen to have a yoga block at home, this would be a great opportunity to use your yoga block. We have a couple options here. We can either stay up on our hands. If you feel a little bit more flexible today, we can come down onto our forearms. Now is a nice opportunity to come back to our intention that we set. Perhaps again, that's sending love to someone out in the world. Maybe it's finding peace and calm. Or perhaps it's just moving our bodies. We'll make our way back up onto our hands, then heel toe that right foot to the center. We'll walk the hands back and prop up that right foot. With an inhale, we'll find length in the spine, and exhale to draw the chest toward the toes rather than the nose toward the knee. Keeping a straight spine as long as we can. We'll walk our hands back up to the top of the mat, tuck the back toes, lift the knee, and step back into downward facing dog. Inhaling the left leg to the sky, we'll exhale, bringing the knee to the nose, holding here for a breath, crunching in those abs. Next, inhale back up to the sky, and exhale to step the left foot to the outside edge of the left hand. Once again, rocking forward and back a few times to open up through the hips. When you're ready, we'll set that back knee down, releasing the toes. Breathing into the stretch. Again, if you have a yoga block or maybe just a little stack of books, you can bring your hands onto that. Otherwise, we can stay on our palms or come onto our fists. I hope that you guys are at home doing this in your PJs, maybe with your kiddos or your kitty cat. Hopefully you don't have anyone jumping on you or crazy big doggos. Would love to see that. If it feels okay to you, you can always go down onto the elbows. For me personally, the side is a little bit tighter, so keeping in mind that both of our sides are not always equal. This is something beautiful to know about ourselves and to think about in life. We'll come back up to the hands, heel toe the left foot to the center, and walk the hands back, propping up and flexing that left foot. Again, with every inhale, we'll find length in the spine. Every exhale, chest toward the toes rather than nose toward the knee. We'll walk our hands back up to the top of the mat, tuck the back toes, lift the knee, and press back into downward facing dog. From here, let's inhale to high to the balls of our feet. You can step, walk, or float up to the top of your mat. We'll inhale to a flat back, and let's reach our hands back behind us, palms face toward the ground. Squeezing the shoulder blades together, triceps are active. On an exhale, folding deeply, maybe grabbing the backs of the ankles. On an inhale, we'll reach all the way to the sky. And on an exhale, pulling the elbows down in cactus. Inhale to reach back up. And exhale to fold forward. Inhaling to a flat back. And planting the hands, stepping into plank pose. From here, feel free to just press back into down dog. Or if you've been practicing yoga for a little bit or want to flow with me, we can take a chaturanga, bending into the elbows, keeping our body like a plank. Inhales lift us up to upward facing dog on the tops of the feet. And on an exhale, we'll press back into downward facing dog. You can walk those heels out, stretching out the backs of the legs. We'll inhale the right leg to the sky. Exhale, bring the knee to the nose, crunching the abs. Inhale to the sky, and exhale to plant the foot again to the outside edge of the right hand. We'll rock forward and back, opening through the hips. When you're ready, setting the back knee down, releasing the toes. Coming up lifted onto the fingertips, palms, or onto our fists. Again, we have two options here, or a few options here, I should say. We can either stay on our palms, we can come down onto our elbows, or if you want to get a little deeper in this stretch, you can bend the back knee, reach behind to catch the foot with the right hand. If you've caught that foot, gently releasing it back down, coming to the hands. We'll heel toe the right foot to the center and walk the hands back for a runner's stretch, propping up and flexing the right foot and folding forward any amount. Once again, keeping a straight spine, imagining that you can bring the chest to touch the toes. We'll walk our hands back up to the top of the mat. Tuck the back toes and lift the knee. From here, we're going to turn to the left side of our mat into a wide leg forward fold. Let's make sure that the outside edges of our feet are parallel, which feels a little bit pigeon-toed. We'll inhale to a flat back and exhale to fold. Beautiful. Breathing into this stretch. Letting the weight fall toward the balls and toes of the feet. We'll come back up to the hands, lifting up to a flat back. Then walk the hands back toward the front of our mat. Pressing back into downward facing dog, or if you'd like to, flow through vinyasa. Exhale for chaturanga, inhales upward facing, and exhale downward facing. We'll inhale the left leg to the sky, and exhale knee to nose. Inhale to the sky, and exhale planting that foot to the outside edge of the left hand. We'll rock forward and back a couple times. Opening up through the hips. You can already tell. It's a big hip opener class. When you're ready, we'll set that back knee down, release the toes. Once again, we can either be up on our hands or our fists, or down on our elbows, or perhaps reaching back to catch that back foot with the left hand. Tuning back into the breath. If you've caught that back foot, we'll release it down to the mat, come back up to our hands. Heel toe the left foot to the center and walk the hands back for runner's stretch, propping up and flexing the left foot and folding forward any amount. Again, keeping a straight spine as long as you can. We'll walk our hands back up to the top of the mat, tuck the back toes and lift the knee, then walk the hands along the long right side edge of the mat, coming into a wide-legged forward fold. Again, outside edges of the feet are parallel, which feels a little bit pigeon-toed. We'll inhale to a flat back And exhale to fold deeply, walking the hands back any amount. Even though we're folded over and gravity is pulling us down, let's see if we can draw our shoulders up the back, away from the ears. Letting the weight fall toward the balls and toes of the feet. We'll walk the hands forward, coming up to a flat back, walking the hands back to the front, and pressing into downward facing dog, unless you'd like to flow through a vinyasa, chaturanga, up dog and down dog. Let's come down onto our knees, bring the hips to the heels in child's pose. Feel free to keep the arms extended or tuck them by your sides to help release the shoulders. Taking a few big deep breaths. If the arms are tucked, we'll extend them back out on the mat. Lift up to hands and knees, and tuck the toes, downward facing dog. Inhaling high to the balls of our feet. Exhale to step, walk, or float to the top of your mat. We'll inhale to a flat back, arms reach back, palms face down. On your next natural exhale, we'll fold deeply, grabbing the backs of the ankles. Inhale to reach all the way up, arms to the sky. Exhale, pull down cactus pose, heart shines high. We'll inhale to reach back up. And exhale, hinging at the hips. Inhaling to a flat back. And planting the hands, stepping into plank pose. Either flowing through vinyasa or pressing straight back into down dog. One more time with our lizard stretch. Inhaling the right leg to the sky. Exhale, knee to nose. Inhale to the sky. Exhale, stepping that foot to the outside edge of the right hand. Rocking forward and back a few times before setting down the back knee, releasing the toes. Either stay on the hands, the fists, the forearms, or reach back to grab that foot with the right hand. We'll release that foot if you've caught it. Come back up to the hands. Heel toe that right foot to the center and walk the hands back for runner's stretch. Propping up and flexing the foot. Folding forward any amount. We'll walk the hands back up to the top of the mat, tucking the back toes, lifting the knee, and walking around to the left, long left side of the mat. Again, wide-legged forward fold. Outside edges of the feet parallel. We'll inhale, flat back, and exhale, fold, walking the hands back. Again, see if we can draw those shoulders up the back, away from the ears. While we're down here, I invite you to join me in a lion's breath. Just taking a big inhale through the nose. As you exhale out the mouth, you make a sound. You bring your tongue all the way out, and you look in between your eyebrows like a crazy person. It's super fun. And again, you're at home, so no one will see you. Follow me. I hope you had fun with that. I did. We'll come back up onto our hands. From here, we'll walk the hands forward, coming into a wide-legged down dog. going to scoot back so that I can get deeper into this as well. Letting the chest fall toward the thighs, stretching out through the back. Beautiful. We'll walk our hands back up toward our hips. This time planting the right hand in the center of the mat, inhaling the left arm to the sky. Feel free to tuck that arm behind your back if that feels good. If you're tucked, inhaling to the sky and back down to the mat, replacing in the center, and inhaling the right arm to the sky. Again, feel free to tuck the arm behind your back if that feels good. If you're tucked, inhaling back up to the sky and down to the mat. From here, we'll walk our hands back toward the front of the mat. Let's rock forward and back a few times. Again, opening up into those hips. From here, we want to stay in a high lunge. So staying on the ball of that back left foot, we're going to lift our heart up high. From here, whenever you're ready, we'll lift all the way up into a high lunge, reaching the hands up toward the sky. Sinking deeply into the hips, driving that back heel back. We'll take a big inhale to reach the arms. On an exhale, we're going to twist to the right side. So over that front leg, opening up, pretending like there's someone on both of your hands, just stretching you open wider. From here, we're going to reach our right hand back, reach for that thigh. Left hand comes high. You've got this. I'm going to windmill those hands back down to frame the foot. On an inhale, stepping the left foot up to meet the right into a flat back. And exhale to fold. We'll inhale one more time, flat back. And exhale to fold. Stepping both feet back one at a time into plank pose. Then pressing back into down dog. Inhale the left leg to the sky and exhale knee to nose. Inhale to the sky and exhale to step the left foot to the outside edge of the left hand. Rocking forward and back just a few times. Before setting down the back knee and releasing the toes, starting lifted. Again, we can either stay here or up on the fists or down on the forearms, or perhaps reaching back to catch that back foot with the left hand. If you've caught that foot, gently releasing it back down. We'll come up onto the hands, heel toe the left foot to the center, and walk the hands back for runners. Propping up that front foot and folding forward any amount. We'll walk the hands back up toward the top of the mat. Tuck the back toes, lift the knee, then walk the hands along the long right side edge of the mat. Again, outside edges of the feet are parallel. We'll inhale to a flat back and exhale to fold, walking the hands back. If it feels good, you can always clasp the palms behind your back. Let them fall forward and stretch out. Hopefully you will join me for another lion's breath. In through the nose and out through the mouth with the tongue out. We'll release the hands back to the mat. Then walk the hands forward, coming into a wide-legged down dog, pressing the chest toward the thighs. We'll walk the hands back up toward ourselves. This time, feel free to keep the right hand in the center of the mat, or bring the right hand over to the left side, the foot, the floor, or the forearm. And inhale the left arm to the sky. Feel free to tuck that arm behind the back if that feels good to you. If you're tucked, inhaling to the sky and back down to the mat, lifting up to a flat back. This time, once again, the left hand can either stay in the center or come over to the right side, the foot, the floor, or the forearm. Inhaling the right arm to the sky, and feel free to tuck behind the back. If the arm is tucked, we'll inhale to the sky and back down to the mat, lifting up to a flat back. We'll walk the hands back toward the front of the mat, gently rocking forward and back to open up through the hips. Once again, from here, we're going to stay in a high lunge. So staying on the ball of the back foot. On an inhale, we'll reach up nice and slow, arms to the sky. Sinking deeply into the hips, driving that back heel back. We'll inhale to reach the arms. On an exhale, opening up to the left side, arms out into a T. Pretending like there's two people, one on either side of your hands, just pulling you apart. Left hand goes back onto the right thigh, right hand reaches up high. And we'll windmill those hands back down to the ground. Stepping that right foot up to the left into a flat back. On an exhale, fold. Inhaling one more flat back. And exhale, fold. We'll inhale all the way up, arms to the sky. And exhale, pulling the elbows down, cactus. Inhale, reaching back up. And exhale to hinge at the hips. Inhaling to a flat back. And planting the hands, stepping gently straight back into down dog. We'll walk those heels out. If it feels good, you can fly the hips open by taking one foot off to the opposite side, one at a time. We'll come down to hands and knees and sink the hips to the heels in child's pose. Feel free to keep the arms extended or tuck them by your sides to help release the shoulders. The arms are tucked, we'll reach them back out along the mat. Lift up to hands and knees and swing the feet through into a seated position. We'll bring the soles of the feet together in Baddha Konasana, bound angle pose. Sitting up nice and tall. For some of you, this might be enough. You might be feeling enough of a stretch. For others of you, we might need to go a little bit deeper. One way that we can go deeper without folding is just by pretending like we're picking up our yoga mat between the cheeks. It means squeezing the cheeks will help us bring our knees down. If that's still not enough stretch for you, then we can walk our hands gently forward, keeping a straight spine as long as you can. We'll walk our hands back up toward our hips. From here, open the legs out wide. Let's bring our legs up and down to give them a little shake out. Maybe rock them side to side. And once again, we'll find a nice tall spine, keeping the arms back behind us. Flexing the feet like we're standing on the floor. Again, for some of you, this might be stretch enough. That is awesome. For others of you, we might need to go a little bit deeper. Keeping that straight spine, we'll gently bring our hands forward and then walk them gently forward ahead of you. Keeping the straight spine, hinging at the hips, doing your best not to round in the back. We'll walk our hands back up toward our hips. From here, we're going to cross the left arm underneath and bring the right arm overhead. Stretching out through the side body. We'll gently lift back up and switch sides. Right arm under, left arm over. And gently lifting back up. Let's draw our legs together. I'm going to go sideways so that you can see a little bit better. We'll give our legs a little shake up and down, or side to side. From here, we'll inhale our arms up and exhale to hinge forward at the hips. You may be able to catch the feet, maybe just the ankles or the shins. That's a-okay. If you've got a t-shirt or a towel hanging around, you can always bring that around your feet to help you maintain a straight spine. We'll gently release the feet and lift back up to seated. From here, let's go ahead and draw the right knee in toward the chest. You can either stay here or bring this right foot to the outside edge of the left knee. We'll inhale to find length in the spine, and on our exhale, twisting toward the right side. You can bring the right hand behind us, maybe hugging onto that right knee. Or if you'd like to, make a little stop sign arm. Give yourself a little bit more leverage if that feels good. On an inhale, we'll return back to center, untangle the legs, give them a little shake out. Then draw the left knee in, hugging it in nice and tight. Either staying here or bringing that foot to the outside of the right knee. We'll inhale to find length and exhale to twist to the left. Again, maybe the left hand comes behind. Maybe we give that left knee a hug or use a stop sign arm for a little bit more leverage. Whatever feels good to you. Got literally no judgment where you are. Excuse me. On an inhale, we'll return to center, untangle the legs, give them a little shake out. From here, let's come down onto our backs, hugging our knees into our chest. Maybe take a couple rocks side to side or in some circles. From here, we'll bring our feet back down onto the mat. Heel toe our feet toward what would be the outside edges of our mat if you are on a yoga mat. Maybe you're just on the floor, in which case we will just bring our feet a little bit wider than hip distance. We'll bring our arms out into a T or cactus arms by the face. Keeping the feet planted where they are, we'll gently drop both knees off to the right side. This pose is called windshield wipers, so as you might expect, we're going to inhale our knees back up and exhale, take them off to the left side. We'll gently flow side to side, right to left, at your own pace, taking at least one breath per side, maybe a little longer if you've got one side that feels extra delicious to you. If you'd like to go deeper, you can bring the inside foot to rest on top of the inside knee. That gives us a little extra pressure and depth. We'll make sure that we finish up on the left side since we started on the right. And bring our knees back up to center. Drawing the knees into the chest and once again taking a little rock side to side before we reach between the knees to catch the feet or ankles for happy baby. Taking a few more of those big sighs with me, in through the nose and out through the mouth. One last time for lymph drainage, sending the hands and feet up to the sky, pointing and flexing, or making circles. Sorry, I keep joking. When you're ready, drawing those knees back in, one more little rock side to side before stretching out on the mat or a floor or wherever you are for Shavasana. For those of you who don't know, Shavasana means corpse pose. So finding a corpse pose, laying flat on your back, legs are out wide, letting the feet drop off to the sides. We'll bring our arms by our sides with the palms face up, allowing the eyes to soften closed, and letting the breath return to normal. We'll just take a short Shavasana here today. In case some people want to hop off, feel free. If you'd like to stay longer in Shavasana than after this video, please feel free. deeper inhale through the nose and letting out a sigh out the mouth. Beginning to wiggle the fingers and the toes. Stretching out the arms and the legs like we're waking up from an amazing night's sleep. Gently bending into the knees and drawing the knees into the chest. We'll roll toward our left side, pausing there for a moment to feel the weight of your beautiful physical body resting on the earth. Pressing into the hands and making our way up to a comfortable seated position. Bringing the hands either down onto the lap or the palms together at heart center. Sending gratitude to Andrea for facilitating this event. Sending gratitude to all the beautiful friends around the world who joined us here today. And sending gratitude to ourselves for taking this time for ourselves to be calm, to breathe, and to move. The light within me bows to the light within each of you. Namaste. Thank you all so much. And again, a big thank you to Andrea for allowing me to come here and teach live on her page. This has been so much fun. I have another video that we posted on here 2 days ago that I'd love for you to take as well and share your comments and ideas with us. If there's anything that you have requests about, certain types of yoga for us to do, if you want something more pumped up or something more relaxing, feel free to drop me a comment. I'd love for you to follow me on Facebook or on Instagram, and we can hang out. I will be back here again on Sunday morning, exact time to be determined, to teach a little morning flow. So I'd love to have you there. Thank you so much for joining me, and have a lovely night.